When I look back on that season of our lives, I realize now that the smallest gestures can sometimes shift the course of an entire family. At the time, I didn't think much of it. It was just a quiet Sunday evening in our little home in Ohio, the kind of day when the sky turns soft shades of gold and lavender, and you can almost hear the earth sighing with contentment after a long week. I had no idea that what began as a simple back massage for my mother would become the foundation of healing that we all desperately needed. My name is Claire Thompson, and this is the story of my family, my mother Linda, my younger brother Daniel, and myself. My father had passed away 3 years before this story took place, and even though time had dulled the sharp edge of grief, the absence still weighed on us every single day. Mom was doing her best to hold everything together, balancing her work at the community library with caring for us. But behind her gentle smile, I could see the exhaustion carving deeper lines into her face. That evening, she was sitting on the living room couch, her shoulders slumped, her eyes half closed. Daniel was at the dining table working on his math homework, his pencil tapping rhythmically against the page, while I scrolled mindlessly through my phone. At some point, I noticed the way Mom rubbed her neck, wincing slightly as she rolled her shoulders. I set my phone down and asked softly, "Mom, does your back hurt again?" She gave a little laugh, one that didn't hide the truth. "Oh, honey, it's nothing. Just one of those days." Carrying all those books at the library, climbing the little ladders to reach the top shelves. My body isn't as young as it used to be. Something inside me ached when I heard that. Mom had given so much of herself to us, to her work, to everyone she knew. She rarely took time for herself. And before I realized what I was saying, I offered, "Why don't I give you a massage? I'm no professional, but maybe it'll help a little." Daniel looked up from his homework with raised eyebrows. "You? A massage therapist? This I've got to see." Mom chuckled, shaking her head. "Oh, sweetheart, you don't have to do that." But I insisted. "Come on, Mom. Just sit up straight for a few minutes. You deserve to relax." Reluctantly, she turned around, and I began to gently press my hands against her shoulders. At first, I felt awkward, unsure of what I was doing. But then I remembered how Dad used to massage her shoulders sometimes when he came home from work, and how her whole body would soften under his touch. I tried to mimic that memory, moving my thumbs in slow circles, pressing lightly at first, then a little firmer. The change was almost immediate. Mom let out a sigh so deep it felt like she had been holding her breath for years. "Oh, Claire," she whispered, "you have no idea how much I needed this." Her voice broke something open inside me. I realized in that moment just how much she had been carrying alone. The grief, the responsibilities, the endless tasks of being both mother and father. As I continued, Daniel put down his pencil and came closer, watching quietly. Then, in his clumsy but well-meaning way, he said, "Can I try too? Maybe between the two of us, we can give you the best massage in Ohio." Mom laughed through her tears, and soon Daniel was pressing at her arms while I worked on her shoulders. It must have looked ridiculous, but for the first time in a long while, we were laughing together. Real laughter. The kind that fills a room and makes it feel like home again. That evening, something shifted. The massage wasn't just about easing Mom's aches. It became a symbol of connection, of love expressed through simple touch. From that day on, we started a new ritual. Every Sunday night, before the week began, we would gather in the living room. Sometimes Mom would massage our hands or feet while we massaged her shoulders, and we would talk about everything and nothing: school, memories of Dad, silly jokes, even our dreams for the future. Over time, these Sunday evenings became sacred to us. They weren't just about relaxation, they were about healing. Each touch, each laugh, each shared story wove us closer together. The house felt lighter, warmer. The grief didn't vanish, but it softened. And for the first time since Dad passed away, we felt whole again. What none of us knew then was that this little family ritual would ripple outward, changing not just our lives, but the lives of others around us too. Because love, when given freely, has a way of multiplying.